Welcome to episode 65 of Lost in Immersion, your weekly 45-minute stream about innovation. As VR and AR veterans, we will discuss the latest news of the immersive industry. Hello, guys.
Hello.
So, what's new for this week?
Okay, so I have two topics today. The first one is about Meta. So I think, so I don't have the update on my Quest yet, but it's currently rolling out to everyone. I think it's one of the biggest update in terms of feature that they released because it's actually starting to bring spatial computing capabilities to the Quest. And when I say spatial computing, I mean in the Apple Vision Pro meaning of the spatial computing. So um, currently, before that update in the Quest, the apps, the 2D apps that you see, they are only on a kind of like a rail, I would say, in front of you, and it's very limited. So you can only see them in that space. So now they added the another feature that lets you take out apps and put them where you want. Um, so it's only 3 apps. So it's not like well, it's better than none. Yeah, I would be very curious to see how it works, how it tracks. Like, is it staying very nicely and steadily in the space? And like, if I remove my headset and put it back again, will it stay and appear again at the same position? All of this kind of uh, user experience feature. I would be very curious to test it to see if they thought it like through. Um, but yeah, so that's the main update of the V67, and the other one is that was announced a couple of months back is the independent developers games and apps can now be seen in the Horizon feed. So that makes content discovery much easier for like independent developers. Um, so yeah, oh, something that I forgot. I'm just seeing right now on the spatial computing uh, feature in Meta is they have a focus mode. So on app, you can focus on it, and seems to darken the other areas of the view. So that can be nice, for watching a movie or um, really like focusing on one app at a time. Um, yeah, that's it for this topic. What do you think, Seb?
Yeah, nice to see that they are still making progress every month and trying to embed the new features to make the headset more day-to-day usable and with more content. Um, I wonder if they open up the because right now you need to scan like a room that is 5 by 5 meter maximum. With this functionality, did they remove that boundary limitation so you can go to different places and place uh, different 2D app in your different room that makes sense where you want to use them or get the information that you want? Like in the kitchen, having your cooking app always there, and when you go into your room to where you handling your work, have your own app there. Yeah, that would be something I would like to test if they did not announce it, but it's embedded, or if they did it differently, where you have to have a 5 by 5 meter scan of each room and do that manually every time. But yeah, nice progress. Yeah.
Yeah, uh, Yeah, sorry, I don't know. I didn't see the details in the videos that I saw and in the website. But yeah, I think you are totally right. Is it's a nice feature. Sorry, but is it like really usable?
Hmm.
That will be a really difference. Yeah, Guillaume.
Yeah, we can see that spatial computing is the latest trend. Everybody is talking about it, and it seems to be the must-have for the VR headset right now. However, I really wonder if these kind of features are really used by the users themselves. I didn't see any enjoyment or global, enthusiasm about this. It seems like a more technical, not trip, but yeah, you must have this feature to be like with the top guys in VR or mixed reality if you want it right now. Um, I'm very, yeah, they are putting a lot of effort in this, and I don't think this is the answer to the main quest, that is to find the killer app that will bring more user and stability to the community through months and years. And I found it a bit like lost efforts there may be, yeah, it's just communication at this point. I don't see it to be used. I don't have any example of people that are currently working in spatial computing with, despite the fact that you have this nice video of people doing CAD models on working on very complex industrial project, but I don't know anybody that is currently using it, despite the fact that they tested it. They are not using it on a daily basis. So, yeah, I find it a lot of effort for just a communication feature, unless they found something that will unlock this unfamous killer app that we are all seeking.
Yeah, I I think that it could become the killer app when, if, when they release the smart glasses that
Mm,
we talked about last week, that
yeah,
are potentially coming in the fall. Um, because yeah, having a small form factor that can be worn all day long, and having apps that are, as you said, Seb, like I have one in the kitchen, I have one in the bedroom, I have one in the living room. You know, all this kind of usage can be really cool. I think they called it augments.
yeah, yeah.
Couple
The
of
widget, yeah, you can put
yeah,
in your space. Yeah, that's it.
yeah.
So
I
yeah,
didn't hear about that.
it's more, once again, a concept feature that is developed right now, but it's not on the right device. Like everything in AR, we still don't have the device we need. Okay, yeah, good point.
But they prove that they are building a strong platform on which each of their devices are compatible every time they release it. So yeah, they are preparing maybe the feel for the new device, so they have apps and contents to when it's released. Mm.
Hmm. Okay.
Okay, and my second topic for today was Luma. We already talked about this company quite a lot in the podcast. You know, they were doing scan, like from the smartphone. You were able to scan. They did Gaussian splatting or NERF, I can't remember, and they did as well like 3D object generation. And now, like since a couple of weeks already, they released a Dream Machine, which is a video generation platform, and it's actually a very good competitor to Sora from OpenAI, because so first it's already open to beta for everyone. Sora is still in private beta. And one feature that is pretty cool is the ability to prompt. They encourage you to write the type of camera motion that you want to have, and seems like it's one of the biggest differentiator for Luma. And so, because you have keyframes, people already had fun with it, so they feed some very famous pictures to Luma and have the video generated. So I saw this quite funny one with all the memes that you know that are now alive. This one's pretty creepy. Yeah, and so they have, also more like cinematic capabilities like that. And I forgot to mention as well that once you have generated a video, you can extend it. So it will generate another one, taking into account what was done previously. So I think this is how they managed to generate these longer videos. So yeah, I wanted to try it with my own prompts, but I did too early before the podcast, and it's not generated yet. So maybe I will showcase them next week. So yeah, this is Dream Machine from Luma. Seb, what do you think?
Yeah, it's very, very nice. As for the picture generation, the text is always an issue. We can see it on the sign outside. So there's a couple of things that will be have the same issue on this first generation of AI tool. For picture, there is a couple of things that are coming, but I think the overall rendering that you get from only two pictures, one in, one out, it's quite amazing. Yeah. It was great to see Sora too, but here you can really test it, and yeah, it's in a couple of minutes you get quite a nice result. So yeah, but it's another way to prompt also from pictures.
Yeah. I really liked, as you mentioned, like you noticed the text, and I really liked also that they showcased also the limitation. You see, so the morphing. So when an object kind of morphs into another when it shouldn't be. Text, as you said.
I'm just generation, which is called Runway Gen 3, which is specialized in text generation, and you can see very good results on different kind of text animations that you could find on After Effects, for example. like liquidy or sparkly text. It can be done through this the video generation AI. It has pretty much the same result as Dream Machine, but it doesn't have the this keyframe feature. And more about the Dream Machine, they announced like last week that you could have you can modify certain region of your AI generated video. Like for example, the character is a woman and you would like a goblin. It's instead of it, you just have to in paint the area of the character, and they will generate another the goblin instead of the woman you generated. So it opens up the capability of modifying your content without having this try and fail method that we had with image generation AI that is now corrected with the in painting features that is like on every generated AI image generated AI engine. So very interesting to see that. And well, when you are using your own pictures, well, you have what you need. But when you are just using the prompt, there is something that is a lot of question because the result is really it really look like something that you've already seen in a movie, and you can ask yourself if what degrees of copyright infringement or what the part of the movie they use for training that is used inside of this. And it's very yeah it makes you ask a lot of questions about this copyright thing and what kind of data they use for the training. So I guess there will be some uh, maybe not trial, but yeah, very a lot of question about how you can use this kind of content, especially when you're doing it through prompt generation. And we can see that there is this kind of issue with music generation, with UDO and Suno that has been sued by the major music company because they think that they are not creating something, they are just copying the stuff that they use for training. So in that way, this trial will be very interesting for the future of AI because it will, um, you know, tell us if the Gen AI we are using right now is really creating something or is just like outputting what it had in it had in the training input. So something that will have to follow up because yeah, basically the future of Gen AI is in that verge here.
Okay, cool, interesting. I saw something just very quickly as well. It's on related, but another topic is NVIDIA. They released a tool that an open source tool for thin like fake data generation. So instead of having training on real data, they have a tool that generates fake data that you can train on. So I'm not really sure exactly how this would be used, but it opens up a lot of new usage for everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, the question of the training data is something that is very uh, important right now, especially when you're using data with personal information. There is a lot of work for the anonymization of the data, and it took so much time that some people are saying that it would be easier and quicker to generate them. So this is exactly what NVIDIA is doing here.
But it generated based on what? They still have a model to generate it.
Yeah, sure. At
Mm.
some point,
Mm.
it's chicken and egg
Mm.
issue here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I think that's it for me. So Seb.
Yes. So for me, I wanted to start with two subjects. One is Gaussian splatting and one is NERF. Both are still progressing on their own pace. For Gaussian splatting, there is a new paper that came out about spotless splats. Not a tough one to say. The idea is that you can use the same data as you were using for generating your Gaussian splat, but its AI capabilities is to remove the user and other content around the subject that you are filming. So here, for example, you really keep only the bike and the street compared to the other system where depending on your position, you get a lot of artifact coming from what was happening in the street when you were shooting the scene. So they have a couple of examples. It's quite impressive the way they clean the scene completely compared to the previous version of the Gaussian splat. So that's usually the kind of artifact you fight with, and you have to clean completely your scenes to avoid to have this kind of mesh splat in space that are misplaced. Here, with their cleaning system, that gets much more nicer to look at. So I don't know if you want to comment this first one, Guillaume, Fabien.
Yeah, well, it's a big step towards automatization of this kind of capture. For all of us that have played with Gaussian splatting, we know that those artifacts and unwanted splats on the environment, it's something that is quite pain, and usually you just have to select a very small area of the rendering to get precisely the object you are targeting. So yeah, I find it a very nice improvement to Gaussian splatting right now.
Pam? Yeah.
Yeah, same.
All right.
Yeah, it's very. Uh, I think we say it almost every week. Is amazing to see how fast this is progressing, and the big question is like how fast this will start to replace well-established 3D pipeline. I mean, it already does, I think, on some applications. So, yeah.
Yeah, about that, I made some researches why this Gaussian splatting is still not used like for a geospatial content, for example, or application. The main issue here is that the precision of the Gaussian splatting is not there yet, because when you are doing conventional 3D scans, you are like the it attains 10 times ratio in precision, like you are in millimeters for the conventional 3D scan and more in the centimeters field for the Gaussian splat. So for they are starting to use this for just the rendering, because of course it's better than a classical point cloud. But once they want the precision, they have to go back to a LiDAR or conventional 3D scans methods. So what they are trying to do right now in the industry is to merge the two techniques. So it doesn't solve the price issue, but it solves that you have a precise 3D rendering with nice render. So this is the main way where this is the road they are taking for the use of Gaussian splatting, and the NERF one I know that you are it's your
Yeah,
next topic, but yeah, the
yeah.
nerf one seems to be like on the downside of their evolution. But nerf is older than Gaussian splatting as well,
Hmm.
so it has been used in the past years and month, and now Gaussian splatting is slowly replacing the nerf one. So we'll see what it's going. But yeah, when you're looking at it, Gaussian splatting is very young, a very young
Hmm.
technique. So we can't expect it to be completely used in the industry yet.
Hmm. Although my second subject was about NERF, because there is still some news and update around it, and there's this new paper is hybrid NERF, and they are showing quite a nice use case in like an industry where they are moving inside the industry and showcasing the different rendering that they get with different techniques. And their hybrid nerve seems to produce much more quality in terms of what you get. Um, I think the best video for showing that is this one. And that's not the one I wanted. That's the one I wanted. So on this one, they compare the frame rate and the quality of what they get. And if you stop the video here and look at it here at 720 FPS, at least you can read what is written on the device. So the resolution, the pixel, and the quality that you get is much more better. So I guess the precision is also way better. And at a decent frame rate to look at. So nerf for me is maybe not over. Maybe there is some progress on both sides that is interesting depending on the use case.
Well, the battle is on because nerf is trying to get the real time that they don't have, and Gaussian splatting have.
Mm.
They have it, and Gaussian splatting is trying to get the precision and better results that you can get with nerf. So there is this approach that some researchers are trying to merge the nerf algorithm with the Gaussian splatting one, despite the fact that it's actually not the same. So I don't know how they will do this, but yeah, you have their pros and cons, and they're trying to have the same nice result in real time. And yeah, it's very interesting to see this current battle between nerf and Gaussian splatting. You already have two teams there.
Mm.
And they are using the same data sets.
Which is great to compare the progress on both, yeah. Mm. Fabien, do you have any feedback?
Not much to add. But yeah, we spoke about like 3D pipeline when we talked about Gaussian splatting. But the use case that they show here, like for industrial maintenance, building inspection, I think like moving from video to 3D, like 3D, like spatial understanding can be a really nice use case for this kind of like a very fast capture that can be analyzed later. I'm sure like they are already using computer vision a lot, but it would be nice to see actually if computer vision can be used on a NERF or on a Gaussian splatting. Well, can be used on the rendered video, but more in like understanding the spatial data. Anyway, just like thinking out loud.
Like providing that to your AI tool and ask them to find the tools in the workshop and something like that?
We've
Yeah,
seen
yeah.
that
So I
yeah,
think
the segmentation is already working, so it's some kind of image processing here.
yeah, yeah. Cool.
All right, and the last news is about Meta that starts releasing is 3D Gen AI tool to do text to 3D generation, and to actually share the video of their progress. And it's allowing also to have your own, you can generate the 3D and then change the texture and iterate on your texture. So it seems quite powerful, and I didn't get access yet. I don't think it's available right now, but as soon as it will be, we'll definitely run some tests on that. And I wonder how if they will embed that in one of their experience on the quest, so you can draw something in the air and generate something with that shape that you did. Could be a great tool for non 3D artists to quickly generate something based on the shape of an object that they have around them. So same, Guillaume, if you want to comment on that.
Yeah, once again, we can see that the progress made in 3D generation are great in just a few weeks. If you can remember what we showcased last year about this, it's night and day. Um, we can see apparently the mesh is something like low poly mesh with nice texture and normals on it. It's a kind of techniques that were used by Luma AI, for example, and other 3D generation. What is very impressive is the auto rigging. Apparently, if it's correct, for from I don't know why
Mm,
they mentioned
no,
the Mixamo one, but yeah, apparently you can do auto rigging, which is something great. And there apparently you have animation as well. So very curious to see that. Um, but one thing is that the most of the assets that they are generating are quite random. Uh, I don't know
just
what kind of data they are using for their training data set. Because when you are speaking about 3D generation, on the industrial or professional side, I would be seeing something more like furnitures or tools and maybe workstations as well. And it doesn't seem to be the case for those generation. But you would say that on the marketing side, it's better to show pugs in metal than a nice sofa. You can sell more. But yeah, I'm curious to see what kind of objects you can
mm,
generate and how realistic they are. Because yeah, random assets, you can use them on funky games, but the use of these kind of assets is not that big, I guess.
yeah, just one thing about Mixamo. They use Mixamo for the auto rigging, so it's
Okay,
not in there too.
okay, okay,
It's written like this. Yeah, auto rigging and animation based on with Mixamo.
okay. Thanks for
Mm,
the clarification.
no problem. Yes, Fab, you were gonna comment.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, as you said, Guillaume, like for industry projects, it's very difficult. Like uh, for an AI to know the exact type of machine that you want to build in 3D. Um, And I see a lot of opportunities. I think for as you both mentioned, like games, independent game developers, or also um, kids app for kids, like they can uh, bring their vivid imagination into life with this kind of experience. That could be really cool app for playground, digital playground. Sorry, for kids.
Yes, plenty of opportunity. Like Guillaume said, I think I hope it's not the only like the perfect one that they get because it's trained on the same kind of model like this. I hope they have a lot of capability with that. We'll see when it's available and see what we can render with that. Based on our test, the previous generation was more guided on one kind of theme and format, and we were always kind of getting the same 3D output. So yeah, that's it for me. I think Guillaume, you can move on your subject now.
Okay, thanks. Well, I guess if we one of us talked about meta, so there's be the case for me as well, as Meta announced that they would like to bring generative AI to content creators, especially for the Horizon one, because maybe some of us uh, forgot about the Horizon platform, but it's still on and they are still working on it. Unfortunately, they still have the same issue, meaning that they don't have as much users as they would like it to have. So, as we know and we announced, and now it is official that Meta said they are not good as doing games and content for their platform. So they are targeting now small developers, indies, and small studio as well for them to be able to create something that would interest users to go on their Horizon platform. So Fabian said that it is now more easier. It is now easier, for us to discover Horizon content. uh, you can see through SEB that they are building AI 3D generated models for us to create assets, and this is exactly the kind of goal that they are aiming at. Is that they want us to be able to create content directly into Horizon and create experience that would be great enough for people to come. So this is not last effort, but it's maybe nearly to that, next to that. But we can see that this is exactly the same method that is used by Roblox. They are now providing AI generated model. Well, you can generate 3D models like the easiest way through AI. I don't know where they are in their um, deployment program on this. But yeah, basically, they are all relying on the community to create something fun and great. And it is exactly the kind of model that is being used by VR chat for years now. And we can see that is, to my to me, it's the most successful platform for VR in the chat or community in a sense for us. So they are just copying VR chat with generated with Gen I tools for the community to be faster and more efficient. So I guess this is a great step towards their, maybe not success, but the improvement of the Horizon platform. Uh, that they just admit that they are not good at it, and they are now relying on the community to do so. Fabien?
Yeah. It's funny. I was exactly about to talk about Roblox. I had a quick look. Is indeed there is like this a world generation ability. They also have like a coding assistant in Roblox, and like you can ask questions about documentation on the AI assistant. So we also last week or 2 weeks ago, I forgot, Seb, you talked about Snapchats, and I think it's kind of similar feature that also is coming to Snapchat, where AI is used to help content creators. Um, yeah, I think it's so like when we are doing AR 15 years ago, we had to have two computers, and now uh, anyone can do it using Snapchat. And then the we see the democratization of the like accessibility to being able to create virtual worlds. So that's pretty cool, I think. Yeah. Tim?
Yeah, that's what was kind of what we were expecting. I think seeing them working on that on both end, AI and VR and MR games. Yeah, definitely that's something that needs to move on. They need to move on, yeah, quickly, because other will. And I think Apple is quite frisky on that, but they should also announce something quite soon, I guess, because that's also one of the issues with the Vision Pro is that there is a lot of content to look at right now. So adding this kind of ability inside the headset will could help.
Yeah, the only issue I would see with the Gen AI tools for content creators or the community in a large way that uh, maybe we will limit ourselves to the simplest um, use case or games. I don't know how you can create like complex interaction or complex assets using Gen AI, meaning that I don't want it to be lowered. The level expectation would be lower, but on the other hand, you can see that most of the successful apps on mobile games, or even in VR, are often the simplest one. So, well, I guess this is the issue with Gen AI right now. This is something I thought about, is that we don't have time to work with this Gen AI to an extensive way and to see the limit of it. We are always like using it like in for a few hours. You can see that it's working, it great results and so on. But using it in a real project type uh, generation material is very hard to do right now, because when you are investing time in a Gen AI model, you can see that 2 weeks after or months after, another one is better and you have to relearn everything. So it's very hard now to know the exact capability of Gen AI, especially in 3D or video or audio as well. We are always I'm feeling that we are always scratching the surface, but we don't know exactly how deep it is. And yeah, it's kind of frustrating right now. Maybe I don't know if you noticed this, but apparently OpenAI is like slowing their pace also in the release of their different AI. Maybe it's something that is coming now in 2024 and 2025, and people are now slowing down the pace for us to be able to get some expertise on a given AI and see what you can do and work with it for real, and not just like, okay, it helps me doing something in 10 minutes instead of 2 hours, but can it would it be possible to do the complete job or something more complex, and we don't simply have the time for this. don't know if this is the same for you guys.
Completely the same. We are doing a lot of investigation in AI picture generation, and like you said, every week there is a new model, a new way of doing things that needs to be tested and compared to the previous one. And yeah, that's takes a lot of time just for that. And so going into all direction, trying all the things that are coming, start to be hard to follow. Hmm.
Okay. Any last words?
Yeah, I don't know if you can reshare very, real quick. My screen is one of the generation that I started on Luma has completed, and here I just entered our logo, the logo of the podcast, and I've said something like headbanging on the at the sound of music. Okay, so you see the results. So it's a very simple test. I didn't put a long prompt, but looks okay.
The background is
Background is crazy, yeah.
Okay, thanks. So that's it for today. We'll see you guys next week for another episode of Lost in Immersion.
Thanks.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.